When you sit down with leather, it's like all those distractions just get thrown out the window and you're focused solely on this piece. And with that focus comes tranquility, peace. It's like a Zen type of experience. You're just working on that piece of leather with your hands, and then when you're done with it, you're proud of it. It's a heirloom piece is what I'm trying to create. When you talk about this precision type work, I don't think there's anybody in the state of Texas that I know of that does this type of work. I feel two different ways. One, it is me because I'm a creative at heart, I always have been. Two, I feel like it's my obligation to carry on my grandfather's legacy. My granddad, he was a custom saddle maker and decided to build a building down here in Denton in 1957. And so that's how everything kind of got started. I mean, you're pretty much born into already a family business that's been around for 20 plus years. And as I got older, he would put me to work. He would say, you know, here's some leather that I'm working on. Here's some tools. This is how you use this tool. So I did that growing up pretty much all the way up until my teenage years. And that's essentially how I learned the basics of leather. For the longest time, I've ran away from his shop. One particular time, they got me a dirt bike, and that changed my whole path in life completely. I was more interested in racing motorcycles. I pursued the media side of motocross, and it just grew into this really huge business. It started to take a toll on me. But as the stress mounted, I started to kind of question again myself and my path of what am I doing? I took a break for about 2 months. And during that 2 months, I went back into his leather shop and started kind of dabbling in leather again. It was just like I was trying to find my true calling, and then once I sat down with the leather, there was no worries about anything else. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like where I should be. I'm home again. The studio that I'm in right now was my grandfather's first shop. The space that I work on all my leather products is exactly the same spot where he worked on all of his saddles for all those years. And I don't know, it's pretty sentimental to me. The majority of the products that I make right now are wallets, watch straps, briefcases, and handbags. What sets my products apart from most other brands, high-end brands or other artisans is, first of all, the materials that I use are high-end materials. They come from Italy, France, Japan. The biggest difference in my products versus others is the hand sewing and the hand cutting that I do. When you hand sew an item, you make your own stitch hole with what's called an awl, and you pass the needles through the leather, and as you pass them, you make a certain twist and you pull them tight. That creates a knot. In every single stitch hole, there's a knot that's interlocking each other. Hand sewing an item can take hours. I mean, it just does. And thinning leather is a difficult task that a lot of people can't do, believe it or not. It takes a steady hand and a certain knife to cut that leather to where it's thin. The average billfold wallet that I make currently takes about 7 hours to make. Briefcases, on the other hand, they could take upwards of 80 hours. A briefcase could have anywhere upwards to over 2,500 hand-sewn stitches. And that's the stuff that a lot of people don't see in the background that's going on. There's a lot of time and effort in that. And it takes years to really even get to that point. Legacy is a big deal for me because of what my grandfather created, not only with his Western store, but with the craft of leather. I feel like he passed on his legacy to me. And so I want people to feel the same way with the products they receive, is that when that person gets my product, they use it. If it's in good enough shape after however many years they've used it, that they pass it down to their son, their daughter. I don't want that legacy to just go away. So I feel like it's my responsibility to keep some portion of that alive. But what started it all was the saddle making, the leather crafting. That's the portion that I want to keep alive, to let people know that on this corner at one point in time sat one of the most well-known Western stores in North Texas.